Why are fathers important in a family? Psalm 133 verse 1 says, "Look at how good and pleasing it is when families live together as one." There is no question at all that families are important to human development. But in countries like Jamaica, the issue of family structure and the way to raise children has been controversial. Some people blame our slave history for the instability of families here. But regardless of the genesis of the society in which we live, we tend to speak less about the importance of men in the household. However, the studies from sociologists at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, confound the notion that in our case, the cause of the nation's ills is to be laid at the feet of fatherless children growing up to be social deviants. I will quote directly from a response that Dr. Herbert Gale gave me when I sent him an emergency email titled "Fatherhood, Crime, and Brokenness in Jamaica" from a prayer meeting that I was attending. There, the people who were praying for the nation blamed fatherlessness for the nation's problems. I had always heard that this was untrue. So I sought advice from two sociologists who have studied the matter. And this is what I was told. The truth is that monocausality is adolescent. There are many such works. As a violence expert, I am aware and have on many occasions made it public that fatherhood has improved. While I cannot promise that I shall publish a work on the matter anytime soon, I can provide the available data in summary here for you. At independence, the homicide rate was only 4 per 100,000, and only 21% of children had a father in their home. Today, the homicide rate is 56 per 100,000. That is 14 times higher. Paradoxically, father presence has increased to 42%, doubled, with over 70% active when extra residential is added. There is no science that accepts that these parallels support causality. It would make for a better case if fathers were less. The data says that one, despite the obvious improvement in fatherhood, violence has exploded. 2. While fathers' presence must be a factor in some ways, there are greater forces at play. 3. Governance has been the crisis in the Latin American and Caribbean region. 4. Violence is complex and requires a model. 5. Too many violence experts have no training. So, we can surmise that fatherhood is important to Jamaican men given the increased participation in the home. Fatherhood is also important to God. In a call to relationship and holiness, in 2 Corinthians 6:18, we read, I will be a father to you, and you will be my sons and daughters, says the Lord Almighty. Fathers are important for many reasons. Proverbs 20, verse 7 asserts, the righteous live with integrity. Happy are their children who come after them. Although this data is old, it causes pause for thought. Fathers.com cites an American study by Dr. Edward Crook from the vital importance of paternal presence in children's lives that, and I quote, 71% of high school dropouts are fatherless. Fatherless children have more trouble academically, scoring poorly on tests of reading, mathematics, and reading skills. Children from father-absent homes are more likely to be truant from school, more likely to be excluded from school, more likely to leave school at age 16, and less likely to attain academic and professional qualifications in adulthood. These data are supported by other studies. For example, Osborne and McLennan, 2007, showed that children who were born to single mothers demonstrated higher levels of aggressive behavior than those who were born to married mothers. Unsurprisingly, since women earn less than men, even if they're doing the same job, children in households that were female-led were more likely to be poor when compared to those living in households supported by two parents. perhaps most shocking of all, is the citation in fathers.com that quotes an article from the Lancet where we are warned that children of single-parent homes are more than twice as likely to commit suicide. Happily, it should be noted that being a father does not mean having a biological relationship with the child. There may be times when the biological father cannot be with his children. But fathers.com quotes Nord and West 2001 in a study which asserts that for fathers in biological parent families, for stepfathers, and for fathers heading single parent families, children tend to do better in school. So obviously, there is data to suggest that without a father, a child is more likely to fail at having a meaningful life, even if she or he has a dedicated and wonderful mother. That said, Proverbs 1 verse 8 enjoins us against evil associations when it says, "Listen, my son, to your father's instruction. Don't neglect your mother's teaching." There is also Jamaican data to support the notion that our problems are caused by more than the actions of the children of irresponsible men. Like mothers, responsible fathers support their children in all aspects of their wellness. Socially, emotionally, physically, environmentally, financially, intellectually, and spiritually. By so doing, they contribute to that child's growth into a well-balanced human being. The truth is that both parents are important in children's lives. Ephesians 6 verse 4 urges, "As for parents, don't provoke your children to anger, but raise them with discipline and instruction about the Lord." The wisdom of our elders tells us that the most important things a father can do is to love his children's mother. This example will show boys how they should behave as men, and it demonstrates the type of men whom girls should marry. Although the science has shown that there are no simple answers about the relevance of fathers, few people will argue with Proverbs 23 verse 24. The father of the righteous will be happy. The one who gives life to the wise will rejoice. Our references are fathers.com, no date, the consequences of fatherlessness, and Herbert Gale, 2023, personal communication. That is 14 June 2023. What are your views about the importance of fathers in the family? Please tell us in the chat below what you think.